So in this series, we're going to be talking about the drop section. So we've already been through the intro, the drums, and now we're moving on to the drop before moving on to the last two groups to finish off. But before I start, I just want to give a quick plug-in of my free sample pack. I've basically taken samples from this remix, original samples, and put them in a sample pack, and hopefully they'll work in your productions as well, because I've just got the kick, snare, effects, chords, just like really basic, or really just the core elements of this remix, so it can be used in a lot of other productions. I'm also selling the project files, so you can go through the projects yourself. And so, but I'm not leaving you completely on your own. If you want to see how things fit together, you can mute, unmute elements and see how everything fits together your own way instead of me going through it. So let's go straight into it. I'm going to be playing, since I've left so much room for the kick and snare and the drums, I'm just going to play them alongside the drop, because or you just hear it ducking out and that'll be a bit annoying. Okay. So let's start. I'm just going to mute everything in the group channel. Just because this group channel, I did this last. So after I've mixed everything in, I then worked on the group channel. But I'm going to leave the this game plugin here. Just leave everything turned down. So before I work on a project, I like to just turn everything down by around 10 dB as a starting point, and then maybe alter that, just so I've got like a lot of headroom. But I've turned it, since my aim is to have since I did minus 10 dB on almost everything, I just thought I'd do plus 9 dB here. But I added this before the tutorial series, just so yeah, this is just for demonstration purposes, that gain plugin on the master. So let's start with this sound here. I'll add these in later. Alright, let's mute everything and see how each one is affecting. Alright, cool. So I've taken all the low end out. Because that low end is in another layer. I've been really picky about how I've cut it out here when I've been mixing it alongside the sub. Then I've got this compressor. So you see the compressor is not acting around this part here, just because it's not actually loud enough for the compressor to be triggered. So so you see minus 2 dB here, or 2 dB gain reduction, and then nothing here. This is just to control the overall dynamics of this layer in the whole section, because you can see it's very dynamic, and I want the drop to be not very dynamic at all. So yeah, just so everything stays consistent, stays a consistent level. So this EQ here, This is off. On. So you really hear the character of the saws here, and it loses a bit of its low end because I've boosted the highs. So I'm not really worried about the low end too much because I've got that in a separate layer. So yeah, plus 4 dB at 10k, no other boosts in other hertz values. So you've got the hertz value here and the plus minus 2 dB here, and these two bands are at 0. And then here, I've got plus 4 dB at 15k. So you really hear like the raspiness. I don't know how else to describe it, but the raspy, the noisy area of the saws, and that's what I wanted. And the reason why there's two separate EQs is because I can't boost at 10 and 15k on this EQ. I can only boost at 10. But so I just opened another EQ up and boosted it at 15k. So there's not really these boosts are really like subtle. Like because the lowest is 2 and 4 dB. And these are like there's only 4 bands, so it's quite crude on how it handles each band, because there's only 4. But with this plugin, C6, this dynamic EQ, you can be really picky, really accurate with what you want to get rid of or increase. So that's basically what I've done. So when it gets too loud, you can see the threshold here. It ducks. So listen to the high end. So that sounds a bit too much. But that sounds a bit more controlled. So yeah, dynamic EQ, use that to control the sound. If it sounds a bit too much in one band, then you've got all the control you can imagine with C6, with frequencies. And then this compressor. So here, it's just controlling the overall. Same with this compressor. It's just controlling the overall dynamics, just to keep everything consistent. Because you can see on the gain reduction meter where it's affecting it. See, I've got a hard knee, so it compresses straight away. When it's over the threshold, it compresses as soon as it's over the threshold. With soft, it can compress it slightly before and then slowly build into the heavy compression or whatever compression setting you have. But I'll be going through this plugin. This plugin, you can get quite deep with it. I'll be going through it alongside the manual in another tutorial. But the point of this compressor, again, is just to control the overall dynamic. I've gone through this plugin in the previous series. It's just to add low end. So 186, that's so the fundamental is 93 hertz. Let's just get that up again. Might as well go through it. So here is 90. The key is in F sharp. Well, that's the fundamental area of the remix, and then I've doubled it here, and then added lower end just so you can actually hear it a bit more. But I've only like subtly added it in. So you hear the lower end of the layer a bit more, and then this just contributes to it. So yeah, and then I've automated it here just to control the overall dynamic again. And this area is probably getting in the way of another. So yeah, these two sounds are probably getting in the way of each other. So instead of compressing it, I just did it the old-fashioned way, I guess. See, yep, that's the only purpose of this gain plugin, and I've also turned it up by 3 dB to re-level it. So next layer.
And
One's going to the crow's. Anyone snipe their crow's nest? Anybody snipe their crow's nest? Please do it. They've got barrels up there. They're turning left.
You on the boat?
I'm on their boat. I'm anchoring them. They're anchored.
Right, raise the sails. Raise the sails. Raise the sails quick. Raise our sails so we can get.
Why are we raising? We need to lower them. Stay lowered.
Killed 2 of them.
No, because if we stay lower than they're anchored, we're gonna shoot past them. We ain't gonna get any shots on.
I killed
we're
3
against
of
the
them.
wind.
There's only 1 left.
We're against the
Alright,
wind.
alright.
Somebody get on their ship.
Yeah, we need to stop. Fuck it. Just anchor and sink them. Let's just anchor and sink them.
Yeah.
Alright.
Somebody needs to get on their ship.
Jump in the crow's nest. Get an explosive barrel. Jump in the water and explode it. Do that. Get in there, crow's
Somebody needs
nest.
to get on their ship either way.
I'm heading over.
You dead? You die?
Yeah, I killed 3 of them. There's
Oh,
only
shit.
1 left. That's how come I'm saying somebody get on their
Alright,
ship.
whoever gets on, it's their crow's nest.
I killed 3 of them. There's only 1 left.
Shit.
We're good.
We don't have angles in the gun now. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go for a cannonball. I'm on a ship.
They're gonna be taking the anchor.
They're sinking. They've sunk.
Ah, cool. Wow.
There's
they're
3
like-
of them. There's 3 of them alive still. What? Someone can bar ladders.
Oh, I'm on
They're
the-
not ladders.
Oh no, I jumped in. I shot one.
I shot
He's
one.
going up. He's
as
going up
well.
the ladder. He's going up the ladder. I'll right ladder. Alright, he's going to the other one.
I killed one.
I
No, didn't.
killed one as well. I killed one under the boat.
There's 1 more left. 1 or 2 more left. I see 2 in the water. Watch out, there's many sharks though.
He's on
Somebody
the
needs to
ladder.
get
He's
up
on
here
the
and
ladder.
watch the other ladder.
2 on the ladder. 2 on the ladder.
They're on the same ladder.
One's.
The sharks have got one. I'm gonna get the other one. He's right here. He got killed by a shark. Oh, we good.
We Gucci.
We see. Alright, raise the sails. We'll get closer to the loot, so it's a bit easier, and then
Yeah.
we'll unanchor. And then we'll just slowly cruise next to the loot and then pick it up. Well done, lads. Well done.
Alright, I'm raising middle sail. Oh, it's raised.
Alright,
I'm helping
freeze
you
the
with
back
that.
one. Great teamwork right there.
That was a nice boat driving. Whoever was driving.
Yeah.
Usually I don't
Even
like
though
to
we
do
were.
it. Like earlier today,
Lovely.
I was doing a fort and I was driving, and the other guys, they were so incompetent, we got sunk by a sloop. That's why I don't like driving that much. Only because I prefer to do the other jobs where I know it gets done. Oh, the stronghold here. Yes.
Well, you know they're mad.
Of course they're mad. They
Yeah, just bring the boat
I don't
forward a
know
bit.
where the fuck. Oh, shark! We should probably take care of these sharks in a second.